All right, let's try this shit again. Take 2. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, what up? So today's video is going to be a full face of e.l.f. cosmetics. Yes, period. We about to be slaying on a budget, cause tell me my face ain't beat. So I picked up some of their holiday sets, as well as some things from the permanent line that I already know that I loved, and I wanted to incorporate it all into this full face, because I wanted to show y'all that, you know, you could be buying your makeup products from Target, from Walmart, and still be slaying like these girls that be shopping at Sephora. You feel me? So these holiday kits were really affordable. So these holiday kits were really affordable. So if you want to give somebody a last minute gift, you can go right to Target and pick up some of these holiday items, or you can go to Ulta. I believe they have them at Walmart as well. So you can give a last minute gift to somebody who is makeup obsessed, and you don't have to worry about quality because of the price, because this quality is superb, I'm telling y'all. So if you guys want to see how I got this look using a full face of e.l.f. cosmetics, then just keep watching. Alright you guys, so I'm going to start out with the eyes first, like I always do. My brows are already done. I didn't have any e.l.f. eyebrow products, so I just used my Holy Grail products, and then I already primed and set my eyes. Y'all know I like to use the NYX eyeshadow base in Skin Tone because it just really makes my eyeshadows pop, and I did set that with a translucent powder. So now we're going to jump into the first holiday item that I got. This is the Haute Chocolate Eyes eyeshadow palette, and they released 3 of these palettes for the holidays. One was more cool tone, the other was more of a mauve tone, and then this one, as you guys can see, is the warm tone palette. Y'all know I had to get the warm tone palette. So this one is in Spice, and it's 15 shades for $10. So I had to jump on this. And another reason why I really liked this eyeshadow palette was because it reminded me of some other palettes that I have in my collection. So I kind of wanted to compare them. So the first palette that this one reminds me of is the ColourPop Good Sport eyeshadow palette that they released for the fall time. So I'm going to just hold them up side by side so you guys can see that they are pretty damn similar. So this is the e.l.f. palette, and this is the ColourPop palette. There are some similarities in here. You got some yellows, you got some purples, you got some greens, you got some reds. The color stories in here look really similar to each other. And then another more expensive palette in my collection that the e.l.f. one reminds me of is the Natasha Denona Sunrise eyeshadow palette. So again, color stories look really similar to each other when you hold them up side by side. You have those yellows, you have reds, you have purples. So yeah, if you guys, you know, wanted this color story, or you know someone who wanted this color story for Christmas, go ahead and get them the e.l.f. palette. And like I said, I already filmed this video once already, so I know how this eyeshadow palette works. And let me just say, I'm impressed. Jumping right into this thing, I'm going to be using my Morphe G17 Big Fluffy eyeshadow brush, and the first shade I'm going to be going into is this one right here as my transition shade. And I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I kind of have to, because like I said, I already used this palette, and this eyeshadow look came out so bomb, so much better than I was expecting it to. It was popping yesterday. I was popping. These eyeshadows are pigmented, they are blendable, they are soft. For $10, you can't go wrong with this. So y'all know how I do with my transition shade. I put it all over my crease, up to my brow bone, all the way to the inner corner of my eye. I just throw it all over my lid. One thing I will say though, this shade is really powdery and there's a lot of kick up, but I don't care about that. I really don't. Okay, so that transition color is so pretty. So pretty. So now we're gonna move over onto the next shade, and I'm actually going to use one of the brushes from this e.l.f. Cotton Candy 4-piece face and eye brush set. I used one of the brushes yesterday, but I'm gonna take this brush, and this is their blending brush. So this is what it looks like. It kind of looks sort of like a flat shader brush on the side, but then it's kind of fluffy as well. So I'm gonna use this brush to go into this red shade right here, and I'm actually just gonna pick up a little bit of that because it's super pigmented, and I want to deposit most of the color on this outer edge right here. And then once I get it deposited with whatever's left, I'm going to blend it into my crease. But I want most of it to be on the outer part of the eye. So this brush, this blending brush, actually worked really good for what I needed it for. So now before I darken up my crease, I want to go in with those lid shades because they are like out of this world. Without any Fix Plus or anything, I'm just going to go straight into the shadow and start to put it on my lid. So the first one I'm going to go into is this reddish copper shade right here in the middle, and I'm going to use that on a Morphe R42 brush, and I'm just going to put that on the outer parts of my eye closer to where I put that red shade. And it is so metallic and so pigmented, and I'm just going to bring it up to my crease. And then I'm going to flip the brush around to the other clean side, and I'm going to go into this green shade right next to it, and this one is super metallic as well. I'm telling y'all, these like shadows are so soft and pigmented. They almost get chunky when you pick them up because they are so damn soft, you guys. So yesterday I didn't mean for this look to like turn into like a Christmassy look with the green and red, but they just went, the colors went so well together. I was like, yo, I did not expect for this eye look to come out as nice as it did. Okay, so with those two colors on the lid, now I'm just gonna go back in and kind of deepen up my crease a little bit so I can kind of match what's on my lid to my crease because those lid colors are so damn intense. So I'm just going over the top of those lid colors with both the transition and then that red shade. So I'm really liking how my crease and lid and everything looks. So I'm going to go back into this cotton candy eye brush set, and I'm going to use the small angled brush to go into this dark brown shade up here, and I'm just going to use that to sort of line across my eyes and create like my little faux winged eyeliner. Even though I am going to go over this with my regular black eyeliner, I kind of just want the softness of the brown. I want that on my eyes as well. Actually, I'm going to make more of a C shape with this dark brown so it can define my outer corner. I'm not going to do a faux liner. I just kind of want it in the outer corner just for like a little bit more definition for this look. And then I'll go over it with the blending brush. All right, so I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna do my winged eyeliner. I'm gonna put on my lashes, and then I'm just gonna put a black eyeliner in my waterline, and we're gonna come back and do the face. Okay, so lashes and liner is done. My liner is a little bit bigger than it was yesterday, but again, you can't recreate the same look twice perfectly. So we're just gonna move on to the face. So today I'm gonna be using two of e.l.f.'s best-selling primers, and then I also have a third primer that we all know broke the internet and was sold out for the longest time. It's a dupe for a very expensive high-end primer. So I'm talking about the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So I do know that they have this in a holiday set along with their total face sponge, which I will be using today, a jelly highlighter, and then some other things. I didn't pick up that set just because I already have 2 of these Poreless putty primers, so I really didn't need a third one. It's that good though to where I wouldn't mind having a third one, but I just didn't need that holiday set because I didn't want to have an oversaturation of products. So today I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer, and this was a springtime, summertime limited edition release. So if you can actually find this in a Ulta store or a Target, then I suggest that you go ahead and pick it up because it is really good. I also have a backup of this. And then, yeah, I'm just going to put this all over my face and let it set. And then I'm going to go in with their OG e.l.f. Poreless Primer. This is one of the first primers that I've ever used from e.l.f. back in like 2012. So this has been around. Like I said, it's an OG because it's been around. So yeah, I'm gonna take about a pump and a half of the Jelly Pop primer and just smooth that all over my face. And I like using this all over my face because it gives my skin a lot of tack and it holds my makeup in place. And then I just like using a poreless like smoothing primer just in the areas where I have large pores. So I'm gonna let that Jelly Pop primer set for a couple of minutes and then go in with this one. And then for foundation, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. This is nostalgia, like I'm holding in my hand, because again, back in like 2012, this was one of the first foundations that I used. So this exact shade, the bottle was the same. It just takes me back to a happy time. So yeah, I'm going to be using that on my face, and I'm going to be putting it on with the e.l.f. Flawless Face Sponge, which I am going to go and clean this. But this is a really good sponge if you have somebody in your life that you need to get a gift for makeup wise. This is such a good sponge. It's super cheap and it rivals high end. It performs amazingly well. It's super soft. It just performs really well, and I think it's worth the price. I think these sponges are like $3 maybe. So for the Flawless Finish Foundation, I am in the shade Coco, and I'm just taking 2 pumps of that and I'm just gonna dot it over my face. And this foundation covers so well. Like, it has really good coverage. It feels really good on the skin. It hasn't, you know, broken me out or anything. It never broke me out the first time I used it. I think it's an overall really good foundation for it to be $6. So inside of the little brush set, you do get this like flat top kabuki brush, but just being honest with you guys, I feel like it's not dense enough to apply foundation with, and I like applying my foundation with a sponge anyway. I'll apply it with a brush, but the sponge is just my ultimate tool because it's easier. I feel like it gives a more flawless finish, more natural finish, you know. And I don't have that much to cover, so a brush gives you super full coverage, and I don't really necessarily need that. My face was so beat yesterday. I got so many compliments on my makeup, even from dudes who don't even really give a crap about makeup. Now I'm going in with the 16-hour Camo concealer. This is one of their best rated, highest rated, award-winning, I think, concealers, and I can understand why, because it's actually a really good concealer. It rivals high end. It's super cheap, like all of e.l.f. products. I don't even have to say that it's super cheap because y'all already know. I'm also going to go in with a darker shade to cream contour. I did cream contour yesterday and my face was snatched. But this concealer is full coverage. It's lightweight. It's not drying, but it's not super liquidy to where it just like moves around and settles into your face. like into the lines of your face. I just feel like this is a really good concealer, and it's top rated for a reason. Look at how flawless and effortlessly that blends out. I love using this concealer to cream contour. I remember when I first tried it out back in the springtime of this year, and I'm still just as amazed every time I use it like I was the first time I used it. Okay, so I saved my eyes for last just because I don't want to get any type of creasing. And I'm also going to get my powder ready. So this is the e.l.f. Corrective yellow powder, and as you guys can see, it's a super yellow powder. By the way, if I didn't say what color I was in the concealer, I'm deep olive, and the shade I used to cream contour was rich cocoa. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes, and I'm not baking, I'm just using a small amount of that powder to set my highlighted areas. Before I go ahead and apply my bronzer, I am going to set my face with a powder that's not from e.l.f. This is my Sephora Micro Smooth Baked Face Powder Compact, and this is just to ensure that my bronzer goes on really smooth, and also to kind of take away a little bit of the yellowiness. We don't want it to be too yellow. We want to be snatched and everything, but we don't want it to be like Flashback City. So for that, I'm going to be using this e.l.f. I forgot the name of it. I think it's the Flawless Face Brush. It looks like this, but it doesn't have an actual name on it, and I can't remember what it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and bronze my face, and I'm going to be using the e.l.f. bronzer in Constantly Bronze. Y'all can't see that little ass sticker. I don't know why I turned it around, but I'm also going to be using this angled brush from the brush set, and I used this yesterday, and let me tell y'all, this applied my bronzer so good because it's fluffy, but it's dense enough. Y'all, and I applied a lot of bronzer yesterday. This bronzer, it doesn't look pigmented, but this thing is pigmented, as y'all can see. Like, it's bronzing the crap out of my face, okay? For my nose contour, I'm going to use my E30 brush that I always use, and we're gonna snatch this nose today. So now I'm going to take that same yellow powder, and I'm just going to carve out my cheeks on the bottom to give me a more flawless look. So for blush, I'm going to be using my favorite blush from them. This is the Brilliant Mauve Luminous blush. Listen, y'all, this had me blinding yesterday. Let me show y'all, because it has that luminosity to it already, so it's gonna make my cheeks glow. And then whenever I go in with my highlighter, it just adds to it. And my skin was so glowy yesterday. I was like literally glowing from within. It was so pretty. So that blush, the color itself is really, really pretty, but the fact that it has that luminosity to it, it just makes it 10 times better. So I'm gonna highlight. I'm gonna be using my Anastasia A23 brush, and I'm gonna be using the new e.l.f. Nabela Noor highlighter. Watch this magic when I apply this highlighter. It is crazy. This highlight, yo, this highlight is insane. This shit go dumb. Like dumb. I'm gonna have to tone it down a little bit with the beauty blender, but yo, this highlighter goes so dumb. Period. Going back to the palette, I am only gonna take that red shade that I used on my outer corner. That's gonna be the only shade that I put on my lower lash line. For my inner corner, I'm gonna use this gold shade right here in the corner, and I'm also gonna put that on my brow bone as well, just to tie everything together. Ooh, that thing pigmented. But we can move on to the lips. Just let me get a little bit of this foundation off. So for lips, I have this e.l.f. You Better Not Pout 5-piece lip set. So yesterday, all I did was I lined my lips with the e.l.f. Nabela Noor lip liner. And then I also lined with my ColourPop and Makeup Shayla BFF4 lip liner. And then I love how they have these wrapped as like little candies. It is so cute. So this is the one that I used yesterday, obviously, because it's open. But I just love how they have them wrapped like little candies. Clearly, e.l.f. did not come to play with you whores. Alright, you guys, so I am back. Face is beat. Period. Poo. Face is beat. This base makeup is immaculate. Like, this is immaculate. I just cannot. Like, when I tell y'all, yesterday, everybody who I got on FaceTime with or who I saw in person, they were just like, yo, you look good today. And I was just like, you feel me? I'm dead ass serious. I'm being so real, y'all. Like, this makeup is popping. This face is beat. So I honestly love every single thing that I used today, whether it was new or old, whether it was from the holiday collection or the permanent line. I loved everything that I used. Such an amazing price for everything. Like, this is good. Like, you guys, y'all need to go and get y'all some e.l.f. cosmetics if you have not tried the brand out yet. If y'all got some makeup junkies in y'all life that y'all need to get some holiday gifts for, y'all need to go ahead and get them some e.l.f. because baby. So anyways, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it because I definitely enjoyed this makeup. You feel me? So if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Let me know you like the video. If you are new, baby girl, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so that you are notified every single time that I upload a video. And I will see y'all in my next one. Peace.